physically, emotionally, and like spiritually compromised. I am unwell.
You have literally been pacing the living room for 3 days.
Yeah.
Your downstairs neighbors are going to file a noise complaint.
Let them. I need to pace. Because the meltdown of Bracket 2 last week almost took me out entirely, but the whiplash of Bracket 3...
Oh, it is a lot.
It is sending me over the edge. I am losing my mind thinking about baseball pants and high school trauma.
Well, I completely validate that reaction, Dusty. Stepping from the sheer hysteria of last week into this week's weirdly guarded energy, it was like walking out of a rave and directly into a corporate boardroom.
Yes, where everyone is secretly planning to assassinate each other.
Exactly. It's a highly calculated chess match now, and the stakes have never been weirder.
They really haven't. But wait, before we completely spiral into the workroom trauma, we have to do the absolute most important thing.
The absolute most important thing.
Babes, we love you, we see you, and babes, thank you for being here tonight.
And babes, this show is for everybody. The kings, the queens, the dolls, the allies, the lovers of glitter, camp, and chaos. Everyone is welcome at this table.
Honestly, that is the absolute best part of Drag Race, isn't it? That it just brings together this massive, beautiful, chaotic group of people.
It really does. People who simply appreciate talent and creativity.
And unshakable confidence, like people who just want to have an absolutely fabulous time together. It is a unifying force of pure glitter.
It's the one place where you can have a deeply intellectual, rigorously analytical conversation about a garment made entirely out of jockstraps.
Right. I wouldn't trade this community for anything. And speaking of having an absolutely fabulous time, I see what you have in your glass over there.
Oh, you know exactly what this means.
Snark Squad, you need to know that the white sangria is officially back on deck.
It is back, and we are heavily poured.
And I'm just going to say it, and I will defend this to the ends of the earth. This might actually be one of my favorite drinks of all time.
I will concede that point.
It is a literal summer vacation in a glass.
I've run the numbers, bestie. It is mathematically impossible to have a bad evening while drinking white sangria.
It's the crisp fruit flavors. It's the perfect amount of sweetness.
The algorithm clearly states that white sangria equals good decisions. Or at least highly entertaining bad decisions that we can talk about later.
Exactly. It doesn't punch you in the throat like a heavy red sangria, you know? It just sort of whispers sweet nothings to your taste buds.
While you judge reality television from the comfort of your couch.
We need to debate this right now. Does the white sangria officially belong in the Snarkside Hall of Fame?
Let's analyze the criteria. Does it fuel our most unhinged drag race theories?
Obviously, yes.
Does it pair perfectly with petty commentary? Yes. Does it taste like you should be lounging on a yacht in Mykonos instead of analyzing drag queens sewing sports balls onto corsets?
100% yes.
Then I motion to induct it immediately.
Motion passed. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, white sangria. Now, moving from fabulous drinks to fabulous spaces, tell the Snark Squad what we've been up to this week.
Oh, we have been busy.
Because, babes, it's Pride Month, and we both went entirely unapologetically all out decorating our dental offices.
Over the top is an understatement.
I went fully over the top.
I saw the photos you sent in the group chat. It looked like a unicorn exploded in your reception area.
I take that as the highest compliment. I had rainbow flowers covering the entire reception desk.
So many flowers.
I put up these massive, colorful window decals so the sunlight hits them and casts rainbows all across the waiting room chairs. It literally looks like a prism in there.
It was very aggressively joyful.
I even set out Pride-themed candy bowls. Which, side note, the irony of handing out sugar in a dental office is not lost on me.
It's a questionable business practice, but I respect the aesthetic.
But it's Pride. The calories don't count, and neither do the cavities. And honestly, the patients were complimenting it all day long.
I love that.
It was just so joyful, you know? How did your office look?
Well, I countered your floral explosion with a slightly more uniform approach. My office flex this year was the rainbow scrub caps.
Oh my God, I love a coordinated staff look.
Every single staff member wearing one. We put up pride flags in the waiting room, and I instigated a highly competitive staff contest for the most colorful outfit underneath the scrubs.
Wait, who won? Was it you?
Of course it was me, but my true masterpiece, my magnum opus, was the playlist.
Wait, I need to know the specifics of this playlist immediately.
I curated a pop diva, high-energy, unapologetic gay club playlist that was bumping softly through the office speakers.
Softly bumping club music.
I somehow managed to make literal root canals feel upbeat.
Shut up. You did not play club music during a root canal.
Bestie, you haven't lived until you've done a complex molar extraction while Chapel Roan is playing in the background. It elevates the entire clinical experience.
That is art. That is modern medicine at its absolute finest.
It really is.
But seriously, just thinking about it, seeing the patients smile at something as simple as glittery decorations and a good playlist, it just made the whole day brighter.
It changes the entire energy of the room. It turns a space people usually dread into something genuinely welcoming.
It really does.
And taking it a step back, it's amazing how much the community rallies around this month. I actually saw a pinned post on the Drag Race Reddit community this week.
Oh, the charity one.
Yes. The mods used the start of Pride to highlight this massive list of queer charities. They were shouting out amazing organizations like the Trevor Project.
Which is so vital.
Incredibly vital for suicide prevention and reminding queer youth they deserve to exist exactly as they are. And they also highlighted Rainbow Railroad, which helps queer people in emergency circumstances relocate.
It just proved to me that the fans, the real community, are just as fabulous and caring as the show itself.
Absolutely.
The Snark Squad is always showing up for the community. And, we've shared some of our favorite wholesome Pride memories before.
We have.
But tonight I want to talk about the most chaotic Pride experiences we've ever had.
Oh, no. I know exactly where this is going.
Because the mess is where the magic happens, babe.
Fine. Give me the mess.
Listen to this. My most chaotic Pride memory was at this massive city Pride festival a few years ago. First of all, the music was so loud, you literally couldn't hear the person screaming directly into your ear.
Sounds like standard procedure.
Right. And at some point in the afternoon, a complete stranger ran by and just aggressively handed me, or more like smeared onto me, this incredibly intense, chunky, holographic body glitter.
Oh, chunky glitter is a lifelong commitment.
Girl, that glitter stayed on my body for 2 weeks.
It is the herpes of craft supplies.
Literally. I was finding it in my eyebrows during serious business meetings. I was washing my hair 3 times a day and still looking like a disco ball.
You can never truly wash it off. You just have to shed your skin.
But it gets worse. I was trying to find the bathroom, took a wrong turn, and accidentally got absorbed into a massive, highly choreographed dance circle.
In a dance circle.
I have zero rhythm, but I couldn't escape the perimeter because there were too many people, so I just had to bop around awkwardly until they let me out.
This is a nightmare scenario for you.
It was terrifying. I ended the night sitting on a dirty curb, eating a giant tray of street fries in full rainbow face gems, questioning all my life choices.
But also feeling incredibly alive, I bet.
Honestly, yes.
That is the ultimate Pride aesthetic right there. Street fries and face gems. But I can absolutely counter that chaos. Let me take you back to a wildly messy Pride weekend block party.
Oh, I'm ready. Lay it on me.
It was supposed to be a small neighborhood thing. Suddenly, an unannounced surprise drag performance happens and literally shuts down the entire street.
Wait, like the city didn't permit it?
No permits.
Yeah.
Traffic is blocked. Police are just standing there watching because they didn't know what to do. It was incredible.
I love that so much.
I met people from all over the world who had just wandered into this street party. But because it got so crowded, my friend group somehow lost each other 4 separate times.
4 times? Did nobody have a cell phone?
Cell service was completely jammed. When you have 10,000 people on one city block, the towers give up.
How does that even happen?
We were relying on pure intuition and screaming each other's names into the void to find each other. By the time we finally reunited for good, it was like 4 in the morning.
You were out until 4 looking for your friends.
We ended up dancing until the sun came up. And at some point, I realized I was wearing these massive rhinestone sunglasses that definitely belonged to a stranger.
Shut up. Did you ever find out whose they were?
I still have them. I have no idea whose they are, but they are spectacular.
See, that chaotic energy of trying to find your friends at 4 a.m. when cell service is down, that exact panic is actually the perfect bridge into what we are talking about today.
It really is.
Honestly, babes, we are so excited for Pride this year. We just have to survive this upcoming Dude Ranch adventure first, and then it's smooth sailing.
Yes. We're about to spend a weekend trading our glitter for cowboy boots.
And I am still trying to process how that has become our life.
Analytically speaking, it makes no sense. But we will survive.
We will. But babes, enough about our own fabulous chaos.
Yes.
Let's get into RuPaul's Drag Race.
Let's do it. We have a lot of opinions to unpack today.
We are getting into the social fallout of All Stars 11, Bracket 3. We are mining the episode, the untucked drama, and everything the fans are screaming about.
Because we have to answer one massive question. In a game entirely based on social currency, who is actually playing the game and who getting played?
Yes. It is the defining question of the season.
Let's unpack the actual mechanics of this for a second, because the context is crucial. For anyone who hasn't fully grasped the weight of this new format, the most valuable queen point system is not just a cute little twist.
Break it down for us, bestie, because the math of it all was making my head spin.
It fundamentally alters the psychology of the competition. Normally, your fate is in the hands of the judges. RuPaul says you stay or you go.
Right.
But in this format, the queens hold the currency. If you win a challenge, you get points.
Yep.
But the bottom queens also have to publicly award pity points or merit points to the top queens.
Which creates a shadow economy in the workroom.
Exactly. You aren't just trying to impress Michelle Visage anymore. You are actively campaigning for the goodwill of your competitors. It forces alliances.
Which brings us right into the vibe shift of the Bracket 3 premiere. Because I have to say, the contrast gave me whiplash.
Oh, it was a completely different show.
We just came off Bracket 2, where Selena and Aura were literally having hysterical breakdowns, sobbing on the couches, dealing with the trauma of betrayals.
It was reality TV gold, but it was heavy.
And then we immediately pivot into Bracket 3, and the energy is just weirdly tense.
It's guarded.
Nobody wants to make the first move.
It's the classic observer effect. They watched, or rather, they are hyper-aware of the potential for social ruin in this point system.
Yeah, they saw the bloodbath of the previous bracket.
Bracket 3 feels like everyone walked in wearing emotional armor. They're terrified of making a misstep.
But let's break down these re-entrances because they set the tone for the entire episode. Starting with Sugar Cane.
Walking in at 48 years old, looking unbelievable.
Unbelievable. The glow-up is real. Her confessional where she said, "There is nothing sagging on this body anymore." Iconic.
And what's fascinating here is her specific approach to this competition. She called her entrance, "Look, businesswoman's lunch, corporate realness."
Yes, with the pinstripes and the shoulder pads, very 90s power dressing.
But it wasn't just an aesthetic. In her press interviews, she revealed that she literally prepped for this season using corporate Excel spreadsheets.
Wait, she used Excel to plan her drag.
Because she used to be a production director before drag.
That is deeply psychotic, but also incredibly impressive.
It is a level of Virgo-adjacent organization that I deeply respect. She was planning a destination wedding AD, preparing her entire All-Stars runway package simultaneously using spreadsheets.
Okay, I need her to organize my life.
She mapped out budgets, timelines, concepts.
Yeah.
And she noted she feels younger, more beautiful, and richer at 48 than she did at 40 on season 11.
It's so true. Drag is often seen as a young person's game, but Suga is proving that wealth and life experience bring a polish you cannot fake.
She looked expensive.
She did. But then we get Sam Star. Girl, I was jumping off the couch.
Oh, no, you were.
Sam is fresh off season 17, and she walks in with this 80s dance, highly confident energy. She's repping her drag mom, Sassy Star.
Yes, the legacy.
And she just has this immediate aura of like, I am the one to beat. She made it to the top 3 on her original season. She's a phenomenal dancer, and she's just hungry.
Okay, I have to push back on this enthusiasm for a second.
Why? She's a star.
Yes, Sam has confidence. Yes, she is talented. But let's analytically look at the advantage she holds. She just competed.
Why is that a bad thing? She's warmed up.
There is practically no gap between season 17 and filming All-Stars 11. It's a massive tactical advantage because she hasn't lost the muscle memory of how this specific television machine works.
Oh, like she knows the filming schedule.
She knows how to talk in confessionals. She knows how long the days are. She knows the rhythm of RuPaul's banter. Contrast that with queens who've been out of the bubble for a decade.
That's true. It takes time to acclimate to those cameras again.
However, the flip side, the danger for Sam, is burnout. And a lack of evolution. The judges want to see how you've grown since your season.
Right.
If your season aired 5 minutes ago, what growth can you possibly show?
That is a fair point. She doesn't have the glow-up narrative. But you still have to deliver in the challenges. And speaking of delivering or adapting, let's talk about the absolute gag of the wigs.
Oh, Joey J.
Joey J walking in, declaring she is gayer than ever, which is iconic, but she is wearing a wig. She finally put on a wig. I almost didn't recognize her.
This is exactly what I mean by evolution. Joey's entire brand on season 13 was being the no-wig queen. It was a rebellion.
And Michelle Visage hated it.
Viscerally hated it. And I actually loved Joey's rationale for capitulating to the wig this time. When she was doing press, she explained that she looks at Drag Race as a doctorate in drag.
That's such a good way to put it.
And if you want to graduate with your doctorate, you have to take all the prerequisite classes, whether you like them or not. That includes sewing, and that includes hair.
I love that analogy. It shows she isn't just stubborn. She wants the crown more than she wants to prove a point about short hair.
Exactly. She acknowledged her first run was a bit frugal, and this time she openly admitted she borrowed money from friends to significantly up her budget.
It shows a strategic adaptation. She refused to give the judges ammunition to critique her versatility again.
It's pure growth.
And witnessing growth. I was totally in my feelings about Jasmine Kennedie walking through those doors. Oh my gosh.
The evolution from season 14 to now is stunning.
It really is. Watching her come out as trans on her original season in Untucked was such a raw, vulnerable moment. It was television history.
It was a beautiful moment.
And now, seeing her return, fully realized, completely confident in her body and just vibrating with this fierce energy, it was beautiful.
But she still has that hilarious, self-aware humor that makes us love her.
Like when she was talking about crying in the workroom during her original season. And she just flat out blamed all her tears on her high hormone dosages.
You literally blamed it on the modes.
I died.
It's a very real thing. Hormone replacement therapy fundamentally shifts your emotional regulation. Validating that experience while also making a campy joke out of it is classic Jasmine.
But the core personality hasn't changed. She is still Mouth Almighty.
Oh, she still talks a mile a minute?
And she is completely unapologetic about it.
We absolutely need Mouth Almighty to keep the energy up. And we also need the emotional anchor, which Hershey brought immediately.
Yes, Hershey liqueur jeté. Back to represent the gay dads.
The pork chop legacy. In season 16, she was the first boot, and she really struggled with missing her kids. You could see the guilt eating her alive on camera.
But this time the narrative has totally shifted. She said her partner and her kids' grandparents sat her down, told her to stop being a crybaby, and go win the money.
It's a crucial mental shift for Hershey. She also noted she feels less lonely this time after discovering other queens, like Kennedie, are also parents.
It grounds her in the room.
But all that grounding, all that emotional preparation, was immediately tested the second RuPaul walked in and announced the first challenge.
The Athletic Supporter Eleganza Design Challenge.
The collective gasp in that room. You could physically see the blood drain from their faces.
Let's talk about the profound irony here. Giving a sports-themed design challenge to a room full of gay men and trans women who have explicitly stated they have PTSD from high school locker rooms.
The trauma was palpable.
Palpable and deeply relatable. One of the Reddit comments from the Snark Squad literally said, "Why do we keep doing sports shit on this show? Gays don't even like sports."
It's like asking them to do an auto mechanic runway.
Exactly. But honestly, the real trauma wasn't the sports theme. It was the sewing.
The sewing curse of Bracket 3. Let's look at the historical data of these queens because it paints a grim picture. 5 out of these 6 queens have severe design challenge trauma.
Joey and Hershey literally went home on design challenges in their original seasons.
The stakes could not be higher for them. They have to prove they've learned something since they left, or they risk repeating history immediately.
And then there is the legend, the icon, the star Kennedie Davenport. Kennedie is back for her 4th time.
4th time.
And she is treating this purely as a job. She said straight up, this is her career, she needs to stay relevant, and being on TV pays the bills. There is no illusion of finding herself.
But watching her at the material pile was pure tragedy.
She pulled the absolute worst, most rigid baseball pants. And her quote in the confessional, I wrote it down because it is my new life mantra.
Let's hear it.
She said, "I hate doing it. I knew it was coming. Damn it."
It is the heavy sigh of a veteran who knows the battlefield and hates the terrain. Kennedie has survived 30 years in this business.
She explicitly stated she sees no competition in that room but herself.
But even with all that confidence, you could see the panic setting in. And it's important to explain why baseball pants are such a nightmare to work with.
Please explain, because to me, fabric is fabric. Why were they all struggling so much?
Standard drag garments rely on stretch. Spandex, lycra, 4-way stretch materials that mold to the body and allow for movement.
Okay, that makes sense.
Baseball pants are designed to be durable, thick, and inflexible. They are woven cotton and polyester blends meant to withstand sliding into home plate. When you try to tailor that rigid material to a corset, it bunches, it puckers, and it fights the sewing machine needle.
Oh, wow. So it's actively resisting being made into drag.
Exactly. Hershey, Suga, and Kennedie all hit massive construction roadblocks simultaneously. They realized their garments were fundamentally failing.
And amidst all that physical sewing panic, amidst the broken needles and the fraying hems, we get the psychological warfare, the MVQ point alliances.
This is where the episode elevates from a design challenge into a sociological study.
Oh my God, the politics. Jasmine Kennedie, our mouth almighty, wastes absolutely zero time. She is immediately trying to set up point trading alliances right out of the gate.
She's practically running a political campaign at the sewing tables.
But here's where Jasmine's strategy flanks entirely. She's trying to have secret, covert alliance conversations while everyone's sitting at the exact same workroom table.
You cannot whisper a secret treaty when Sugarcane is 3 feet away stress-cutting a mesh jersey.
Exactly. It's like trying to rob a bank while standing in the lobby shouting your plan to the teller.
She had zero subtlety. And I have to applaud Joey here. Joey flat out refused to commit her MVQ points to anyone.
Jasmine is trying to lock down votes, offering these convoluted, I scratch your back, you scratch mine deals, and Joey's just sitting there like, nope, unbothered, staying out of it.
I'll vote for whoever does the best.
It totally derailed Jasmine's social game strategy.
Let's apply some basic game theory to this, specifically the prisoner's dilemma, because it explains exactly why Joey's move was brilliant.
Okay, Professor, hit me with the math.
In the prisoner's dilemma, 2 people can choose to cooperate or defect. If Jasmine and Joey both cooperate and trade points, they both survive.
Right.
But if Jasmine cooperates and gives Joey a point, but Joey defects and gives her point to someone else, Jasmine loses entirely.
Oh, I see.
Jasmine is desperately trying to force a cooperation pact to guarantee her safety. Joey, by refusing to even play the game, refuses to enter the dilemma. She neutralizes Jasmine's power.
It makes Joey a wild card. And in a game of predictable alliances, the wild card holds all the power.
In the press tour, someone compared the workroom dynamic to dogs sniffing each other at a dog park, trying to figure out who is alpha.
And Joey refused to let anyone sniff her strategy. It completely broke Jasmine's brain.
But then we get into the actual philosophical debate about the points, which caused a huge rift in the room. The philosophy of the pity point.
This is the crux of the system. So Sam Starr proposes a rule to the group. She says that if you win the challenge and get the top spots, you shouldn't be allowed to receive the extra pity points from the bottom queens.
Her logic is, you already got your recognition, you already got your high score, leave the scraps for the peasants who are struggling at the bottom.
It's essentially a wealth distribution model. Sam is arguing for equity. If you have a surplus of points, you shouldn't hoard them.
But Kennedy immediately vetoes that. Kennedy's strict, old-school pageant rule is that points should only go to the queens who actually deserve them based on the week's performance.
Regardless of whether they won the challenge or not, Kennedy does not believe in charity in a drag competition.
Kennedy is arguing for pure meritocracy. If you construct the best garment, you receive the highest reward, period.
This raises an important question for you, the Snark Squad. If you put yourself in that workroom, which philosophy do you subscribe to?
Do you distribute the wealth to keep everyone in the game and build social favors? Or do you reward excellence objectively, even if it makes the frontrunner unstoppable?
I am Team Kennedy on this, 100%. If you serve the best look, you deserve the points, period. I don't want to watch a competition where we artificially inflate the scores of the worst performers just to be nice.
But we have to get to the runway to see who actually earned those points.
The athletic supporter, Eleganza. And before we talk about the looks, can we just give a massive standing ovation to Juno Temple?
Juno Temple was an absolute joy as a guest judge.
She really was. Often, guest judges seem terrified to offer actual critique, or they try too hard to be shady and it lands flat.
Juno was engaged, she was kind, she actually gave constructive feedback about proportion and styling. She explicitly loved Jasmine's Barbie look, which I think validated Jasmine's entire approach to the challenge.
She understood the assignment. So let's break down the top two. It ends up being Sam Starr and Jasmine Kennedy.
Sam used actual literal sports balls, basketballs, footballs, soccer balls, to construct her garment.
She cut them up, organized them by texture, and created this wildly ambitious, structured silhouette.
And Jasmine took these rigid, unglamorous sports materials, like mesh peonies and athletic tape, and somehow created a fully cohesive pink Barbie color palette.
Analytically, the judges chose the correct top two.
They did. Sam showed ingenuity with difficult materials. Cutting through the rubber and leather of a basketball requires physical strength and specialized shears, let alone tailoring it to a human body.
It was intense labor.
Jasmine, on the other hand, showed restraint and a masterful understanding of color theory. She didn't just pile junk onto a corset. She curated a specific aesthetic.
Which leads us to the lip sync. Bonnie Tyler's If You Were a Woman and I Was a Man, an absolute classic high camp 80s anthem.
It is a powerhouse song. It requires drama. It requires emotion.
And Sam wins the extra point and the $10,000 tip. But babes, The fandom chatter on this lip sync was messy. The Snark Squad was divided.
Very messy. If you dive into the Reddit live reaction threads, there was a massive schism in how people perceived that performance. Let's look at the arguments.
Half the Snark Squad felt that Jasmine actually won the lip sync. They loved her outfit reveal, they thought she embodied the dramatic, emotional weight of the song bar, and they felt her stage presence was undeniably electric.
But the other half argued the exact opposite. They pointed out that Jasmine's dancing fell flat in the second half, she didn't nail the words perfectly during the bridge, and Sam's performance was just much cleaner.
Sam didn't rely on a messy reveal. She just delivered crisp 80s choreography that hit every single beat of the drum.
Sam definitely played it straight to the judges. She recognized that Bonnie Tyler isn't a song you do death drops to. It's a song you emote and power pose through.
Sam executed the technical requirements of the lip sync better, even if Jasmine brought more chaotic energy.
Sam took it, and now she is the frontrunner of Bracket 3. The youngest queen, the newest queen, is leading the pack of veterans.
But honestly, I have opinions on the rest of these runway looks that I have been holding in for 45 minutes, and I need to let them out. It is time for our fresh, new, messy segments.
Let's do it. Segment 1. Toot, boot, or absolute shoot. The rules are simple. We're giving a rapid-fire rating of the biggest runway looks based on our own opinions and the incredibly messy opinions of the fandom. Defend every decision. You start. Sam Starr's winning look.
Okay, I'm going to cause chaos immediately. I'm going against the judges. I'm giving Sam Starr a boot.
A boot for the garment that literally won the challenge.
Oh.
You are out of your mind.
Yes, a boot. Hear me out. I acknowledge the technical construction of cutting up the sports balls was impressive. I just gave her props for that. But look at the final silhouette.
So I was fine.
It looked like an 80s dance costume that we have seen 6,000 times on the stage. It felt worn. It felt like something a high school drill team wears to a regional competition in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
The geometry of the balls made her waist look boxy. It did not give me All-Stars couture.
See, I completely disagree, and I think you are ignoring the parameters of the challenge. I am giving it an absolute shoot.
An absolute shoot.
Yes. They were given the most unyielding, horrific materials possible. Sam took thick leather, rubber, and synthetic sports mesh and tailored it. She embraced the materials rather than just gluing fabric over them to hide what they were.
I mean, I guess.
It was ambitious, it was draggy, and it's technically sound. Absolute shoot. Okay, next up, Joey J.
I am giving Joey J a toot. She gave us a chic mesh top, a cute skirt made out of gym shorts, and she sold the hell out of it on the runway. It was vampy, it was nostalgic, it felt very early 2000s music video. And her hair, the wig she finally wore, was incredible.
I am viciously booting this. I am booting it straight into the sun, and I will tell you exactly why. The shoes.
Oh, not the shoes.
The shoes were a hate crime against fashion. Someone on Reddit literally said, Jody's shoes were so hideous, I genuinely could not take the outfit seriously with that shoe.
They were a little clunky.
You have this cute, vampy mesh top moment, and then you anchor it with the most clunky, disproportionate, orthotic-looking footwear imaginable. The ankle straps cut off the line of her leg entirely, making her look shorter. It ruined the silhouette. It ruined the vibe. Boot. Next, Kennedie Davenport.
Okay, we might actually agree on this one. I am giving Kennedie a boot.
It's a boot. A profound, undeniable boot.
She literally took 3 pairs of baseball pants and strapped them to her body. She didn't transform them. She didn't cut them into a new shape. She just wore multiple pairs of pants.
And the fans were reading her for filth.
The judges were critiquing her color scheme, and some fans were trying to defend her, saying, 2 primary colors in gray, that's unheard of. But the reality is, the garment was just fundamentally bad.
It looked heavy.
It looked unfinished. And it lacked any sort of elevated drag perspective.
It lacked proportion. When you are a legend like Kennedie Davenport, the expectation is astronomically high. I understand she hates sewing. I understand the material was difficult. But pinning baseball pants to a corset does not an all-star make. We agree, boot.
Moving on to segment 2, main character energy rankings. We need to rank the queens based on who is providing the absolute most this season so far. Let's start with the chaos category.
This is undisputed. The #1 spot for chaos goes to Jasmine Kennedie.
Oh, absolutely.
She walked into a room of traumatized queens trying to sew jock straps, sat down at the communal dinner table, and immediately started whispering about secret alliances like she was in the CIA.
He was so loud.
The sheer lack of situational awareness to try and form a secret cabal in a 200-square-foot room while people are actively having panic attacks over sewing machines is peak chaos.
It is. She is mouth almighty for a reason, and she cannot read the room. Okay, comedy. I am giving the main character energy for comedy to Joey J. Her confessionals were sending me. She is so dry, so deadpan.
Highlight the quote. You know the exact one I'm talking about.
She literally looked into the camera, completely straight-faced, and said, "The more DMs that are creepy, the more pussy I feel."
It's poetic. It belongs in the Louvre. It captures the exact intersection of internet culture and drag delusion.
It is the gayest thing I have ever heard, and I live for it. And finally, confidence. Who gets the main character energy for confidence?
Kennedie Davenport. You cannot buy, fake, or manufacture the level of unbothered arrogance that comes from 30 years in the drag industry.
You really can't.
To sit in a room with 5 other incredibly talented all-stars, look directly at the camera, and sincerely declare, "I see no competition but myself." That is legendary behavior. She doesn't even view the other queens as threats. They are just coworkers sharing the same break room.
It really is mother behavior. Okay, segment 3. The untucked group chat. We all know the camera's cut, they go to the hotel, the PAs leave, and the phones come out. Imagine what the private group chat looked like the second they got back to their rooms after this episode.
Oh, the digital footprint would be toxic.
Yeah.
Let's set the scene. They are exhausted, their feet hurt, and the paranoia of the MBQ points is settling in.
I am envisioning Jasmine Kennedie, still hyped up on adrenaline and estrogen, sending 4 frantic 2-minute-long voice notes to the main group chat, just rambling about the points, trying to secure her alliances for next week, breaking down the mathematical permutations of who is voting for who.
And promising immunity that she literally cannot guarantee.
Yes. And Joey J sees the voice notes, listens to exactly 4 seconds of the first one to figure out what it's about, and deliberately leaves Jasmine on read.
No response, just a read receipt to let her know she is actively being ignored. The psychological warfare of the read receipt is unparalleled.
Yes. Meanwhile, Sugar Kane, who is still fully locked in Virgo corporate production director mode, accidentally replies to the chat with a literal Microsoft Excel spreadsheet detailing her entire runway budget and a grid of who she thinks will be in the bottom next week.
Based on their sewing skills.
Yeah.
And Kennedie Davenport. Kennedie watches all of this unfold from her hotel bed. You see the little speech bubble appear? Kennedie Davenport is typing.
Oh my God, yes.
She types for 5 solid minutes. The anticipation builds in the chat. Everyone is holding their breath, waiting for a legendary, devastating read. And then she just sends a single low-resolution gif of herself looking utterly disgusted and logs off.
And then puts her phone on Do Not Disturb. That is exactly what happened. I know it in my soul. Okay, final segment before we wrap up. The Soft Girl Drag Starter Pack.
I have been dreading this segment all week.
Too bad. The setup is this. If you and I had to put down the microphones, abandon the snark side, and compete on Drag Race tomorrow, what is our drag persona? Bestie, I'll go first.
Let's hear this impending disaster.
My drag name would be something chaotic, sparkly, and slightly confusing, like Glitterotica Jones. My signature cocktail in the workroom, obviously, is just pure white sangria served in a giant bedazzled chalice that I refuse to put down during walkthroughs.
It sounds unhygienic.
My entrance line. I'd walk in, trip slightly on my own hem, recover with a dramatic pose, and scream, "I didn't read the instructions, but I brought snacks."
That is deeply, painfully accurate to your real life. You would absolutely bring snacks to a sewing challenge.
Thank you. I know my brand. My runway theme would be Overwhelmed Eleganza, and my lip sync song would be something highly emotional, like a Celine Dion power ballad, but I would ruin the emotional integrity of it by adding way too much unnecessary offbeat choreography. 8 counts for days while Celine is just trying to hit a high note.
You would be out first, the pork chop of the season. RuPaul would send you home before the song even finished.
How dare you? I would be a fan favorite. Okay, let's hear yours, Miss Analytical. What is your drag persona?
My drag name is Dry, Sarcastic, and Mildly Threatening. Sylvia Plastic Surgery.
Oh my God, that is actually brilliant.
My signature cocktail is a painfully bitter martini with 3 olives, served in a glass that is slightly too small so it spills whenever I aggressively judge people's outfits.
Naturally.
My entrance line. I walk in, look around the room with utter disdain, sigh heavily, and say, "I'm only here because my dental practice is closed on Tuesdays."
The branding is immaculate. You are terrifying. What's your runway theme?
Medical malpractice realness. A couture hospital gown made entirely out of unpaid medical bills, insurance denial letters, and x-rays, trailing behind me like a massive, depressing cape.
I hate how much I love that. You would honestly make it to Snatch Game, do an incredibly dry, obscure historical figure that RuPaul doesn't understand, and then you would get sent home for refusing to show vulnerability on the runway.
I would accept that elimination with grace and a single sarcastic nod to the judges panel before walking off in silence.
Honestly, we would make iconic television. We would be the villains of Bracket 4. But babes, looking at the time, we have to start wrapping this up. And you always have that one final thought, that one concept to leave us spiraling until next week.
I do, and it ties everything we've talked about together. Before we sign off, I want to pose one final messy question to the listener.
Let's hear it.
If we look closely at this new MVQ point system, we know it is explicitly designed by production to force social interaction, to breed paranoia, and to create alliances. But if queens like Joey J actively refuse to play the social game, if they employ the unbothered strategy of not making deals and not engaging in the politics, will that apathy actually break the entire concept of this all-stars format?
Ooh.
Or, paradoxically, in a game where everyone is trying to manipulate everyone else, is staying completely out of the drama the only way to actually survive it?
That is the million-dollar question. Is apathy the ultimate strategy? Can you win a social game by refusing to be social? Snark Squad, I need your theories, your thesis statements, and your game theory analysis on this in the comments immediately. And while you're there, here is your call to action for the week. Share your favorite Pride memory or tradition with the squad in the comments. Tell us about the glitter, the chaos, the street fries, the joy, all of it. We want to read your messy stories.
We read all of them, even the ones that judge our runway opinions. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us spiral. Remind yourselves to like, comment, subscribe, and please share this with another snarker who needs to hear the truth about Kennedie's baseball pants.
Stay fabulous.
Stay fearless.
And we'll see you on the snark side.